We just gotta do a mini introduction, bro.
All right, cool. Well, I mean, I've been
And the
recording,
good thing is,
so I recorded all of that. So just whenever you're ready to
okay, that's
start,
fine.
is on you, dude.
I mean, yeah, it's on me.
It's all you, bruh.
Shit, it's all on me. Shit,
Don't start sweating. Don't start sweating. It's
I
all you,
I
bruh.
stay sweating, bro. I stay sweating.
Jesus fucking Christ.
My man's fat. He sweats inside.
He said, my
I
man's.
sweat
he said,
inside.
he said, he
Said
said,
my
I
man
sweat so
sweat.
much it rain inside.
It rains. It rains.
It's just perpetually the
I got the
Key
Amazon
and Peele.
rainforest biome in
Oh,
me.
bro, imagine if a nigga actually sweated like that. like he's just sitting there. He looks at it, and under
All I
his
can
fucking
think of when
hairline
you
is just
say
like.
that, no, all I can think of when you say that is when Drewski interviewed old boy, and he goes, "My dude is sweating." All right, hey, but anyways, welcome to the No Shot Podcast. I'm Jared. I'm joined with my two friends, Joe and Chris. Say what's up, fellas.
What's up?
Look at that segue. What's up, man? It's Chris. It's your boy.
But hey, we're just three friends that are into sports, video games, anime, TV, movies, and all that jazz, and that's what we're gonna talk about. So yeah, how we doing today, boys?
Well,
Shit.
it's
Well, we've been wait,
1:30.
we've been waiting a while in the morning.
Yeah, because
A
someone's
while
like,
is
I'm gonna go with my parents and just go spend the entire day at a car dealership.
saying we waited a while is
Understatement.
for all you out
Like,
there. We were supposed to start at 8. It's 1:30
No,
in the
I
morning.
know, I know.
So
I
This
know.
is just
I
this is just the meta.
I'm upset because I was so excited when I found out I wasn't gonna like go to the lake, and I was like, oh, I'll have time to get back early and we can record the first episode of the podcast, the thing we've been talking about doing for the longest time. And
At
then
least a year and a half now.
Yeah.
and then just got back to do it. But yeah, hey, was one thing that I just want to start off talking about is, boys, what are some games that you're playing right now? What are some animes, some shows, or anything you've been
Holy.
playing recently?
Oh man,
Anything like that?
Well,
I
Chris, you want to
know.
go first?
today, me and Joe were fucking killing shit in the Halo Infinite beta. And let me fucking tell you, Jared, like, this shit feels like Reach in Halo 3. Like, it really does. Like, it feels like
Yeah.
old school. Well,
Doesn't feel
I
like
say
4 or
old
5.
school. It definitely feels like a modernized version of Halo. It definitely feels like they took a proper step towards making it what it should be. It definitely feels like it has gotten modernized from the old formula, but everything about it so far just feels fucking fantastic. I love it.
They they took a lot of the things that. So basically, I would say there's zero Halo 4 in the game, but they
Thank
definitely took
God.
a couple. Yeah, they definitely took like a couple things, like mantling from Halo 5, which is definitely nice because it makes traversing like on the ledges much easier and way less frustrating. So you don't have to crouch jump. Your guy just grabs a ledge. We still got sprinting, but all the nerds did the calculations, and it's only 2% faster than actually the normal running speed. It's more of like just a segue, so you can actually slide.
So it's like brink movement.
Yeah, basically, it's just kind of like I don't know if it's like even advantageous to sprint.
I mean,
Does it
Because
affect
obviously,
aim at all? Or
no,
movement
it
no.
or
doesn't.
So
moving?
You
so
can
when you're
sprint, reload, sprint, and shoot. You can
yes,
basically sprint and do
well, you
everything.
can't sprint and shoot because like your gun it goes down. Like it's a sprinting animation like every other FPS
What,
game.
Yeah, but you
what
can
a
still move
description.
and shoot.
Yeah. You can still like move and shoot. There is Bloom. That is back.
It
But
doesn't feel. It
Fine.
doesn't feel
It's
nearly
fine.
as crazy as
It's
it did in
not.
Reach, though. Either.
Yeah, it's
You know
not
what I mean?
nearly as. Yeah. Chris nailed that. It's not like as extreme
It feels a lot tighter
as it
than it
was in
did in
Reach.
Reach. Because in Reach, you
For
could
sure.
definitely tell that like your bullets were going like at the edge of whatever circle you had. But like this is a lot tighter. The circle either doesn't go as far, or they just keep the bullets tighter. Which I mean, it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah,
I like it.
It simulates recoil more than it simulates a random bullet pattern.
Okay.
Speaking of random bullet patterns, I'm also playing Valorant as you know. I mean,
Did you pick? I can't believe you picked that back up.
dude, look. Well, I mean, so fucking. It's really Cooper that got me back into it, which is a shame. Cause like the dude wants to play it, and I'm like, all right, cool. And
Yeah, you can't
we
turn
play
down
it.
the road dog, bro.
I mean, I've essentially been like, me and Joe have essentially been carrying Cooper and Caleb through the fucking ringer. I hit gold. I hit gold, highest I've ever hit, and then I fucking dropped out. I lost 4 games in a row.
I was also there for at least 3 of them.
It's been tough, dude. That game is so hard because like a lot of it, well, not a lot of it, but there is an RNG aspect to it because it's a lot like Counter-Strike. I don't know if you've played Counter-Strike, Jared, but you've played Valorant all of 3 times.
Hey, I got enough to get ranked, and then for you guys to not be able to play with me.
Best ranked at NA, baby.
But I mean, like, it's just the bullets definitely have like this almost like mind of their own feeling.
Oh, I know.
After you shoot like the first 4, it kind of just feels like they're just they're just going.
I'll never forget the level of how my gameplay went from absolutely horrendous to horrible, and it was because you guys explained to me you can't hold down the trigger the whole time.
Yeah, I have never in my life played a game that has frustrated me more than Valorant. Because in Valorant, the highs are so high, but the lows are so incredibly low.
Oh, Christ.
Like, you can literally go from, like, dropping 30, dying, like, 10, 15 times, right? You're feeling yourself. And you'll get to the next match, and nothing's hitting. Not a thing.
Not
you shoot,
one
and people
thing.
just not dying. Like, it's like, oh, you hit them 3 times, but they one-tapped you in the head because they're just better, maybe, who knows? It's such a frustrating experience sometimes, and that's why I struggle getting into it, because it is just so frustrating. And a lot of it's because I don't play the game a lot, so I don't understand the game, but even people who play a lot, I feel like kind of understand the highs, lows, because I see it all over Twitter, a lot of people who actually are good at FPS games and not just slightly above average like me say the same shit I'm saying. Is like, there's
Slightly
not a game
average,
that
this guy says.
there's not a game in the world that humbles them like Valorant. And I get that, because that game is so humbling. Like, you will just get bodied
and
sometimes.
It's insane too, because like the way that like their ranking system is set up, like you can play with somebody who's like absolutely fucking dog cracked, and he's like insane, but he'll be like bronze or silver, because there's just that many people playing, and there's like that crazy of a like gap between like the top players and the bottom players. It's nuts.
Like, the thing I noticed is that one time I hit gold, that one time I hit gold is the jump from like silver players to. So, I would say like a lot of silver players, some of them are definitely good enough if they had like actual teams to probably push into like the high gold, low plat territory. 'Cause some of those guys are fucking nuts.
They're insane.
And I got into gold, and then there's those guys. I'm like, yeah, this guy could definitely be a diamond. He's actually insane. He's the best player I've ever seen.
That sounds a lot like when Chris and I were making our duos run in Rocket League.
Oh my god!
And when we would rank up, and just, oh my god! You talk about being humble. You talk about being humble. There's nothing like going from dominating everyone in silver, dominating everyone in gold.
Like we're winning every game by like 5-6 goals. Oh my god!
And then you get your first person who's just doing.
You see the first person to fly,
backflips in the air.
The first person that flies, you're just like, that's it. I can't. and it's
No, the
like,
skill Rocket League probably has one of the biggest skill gaps. I mean,
oh, for sure.
like
Yep.
I don't, I can't even begin to like sit here and even wrap my brain around Rocket League.
Man,
Yep.
fucking,
Well,
Rocket League is a fucking mess, bro. I love that game too, though.
yeah.
But I don't think any of us are
It's
playing Rocket League at the moment.
No, 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 no. I mean,
no. I would be playing it if my internet allowed me, but
Yeah,
eh, we'll get there. So people. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna touch on my things. I wouldn't say like I've really been playing games. Well, like I just
Yeah.
finished a single player game.
oh,
It
yeah,
was the
Days Gone, right?
yeah. It was the Days Gone PC port, and first of all, I'm very impressed with the quality of the PC port. I would say throughout my entire time playing, I had one crash, which I think was my fault. I don't know how, but I'm pretty sure I did something to cause it because
You
that's
didn't
just the
just
way I
change
play video
keybinds.
games.
You didn't just
Yeah,
change keybinds.
we'll get to that later. Uh, but other than like a few like weird graphical bugs, um, really solid PC port. Because a lot of PC ports, when they come from console, really kind of not great sometimes. Like a lot of them end up being pretty
Yep.
bad. But I will say this: the game, if you like zombie games, if you like the post-apocalyptic feel, I could not recommend the game more. Personally, it's like an 8.5 out of 10. There was a couple like annoying mission sequences that like I just wish the game didn't make me do. But other than that, I had a blast the whole way through. It's a six. No, I bought the game at $45 because that's it. Didn't come to PC at full price, and I got about 60 hours worth of gameplay out of it, and I enjoyed almost every 60 if it wasn't for that one mission type that does stop. So it doesn't continue throughout the game. It stops about right before the halfway point. So in the half, yeah. So I would recommend that. Other than that though, I've just kind of been doing one-off games, a little bit of Valorant.
Well,
Uh,
I wish Jared's internet would get better because I want to get back to our random fighters pools drafts. Those are so much fun.
yeah, yeah.
But I
Having
mean,
Go
I
ahead.
because
I
here's the
really don't like fighting somebody
Give it a
with
week, and I should be
I
straight.
really don't like
I
fighting somebody who has a fucking 19 frame delay. That's insane. I
yeah
hate doing shit like that in a fighting game. It's so much.
I
It's so
struggle
Give
annoying.
it.
fighting on
I am terrified right now. I am terrified right now to contribute in the conversation.
Uh,
why
I mean, is it one of those? Is it a Madden?
he has been playing Madden.
What?
Well, I was asked. Well, I mean, if we're talking about, well, I thought we were talking about just the topic in general, or unless you wanted to talk about fighters, as we were saying, or the internet. There's a lot of subplots you can go into here.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
I miss part of that. No, my internet is right. Yeah, right. No, right now I'm looking at my Discord connectivity and it's at one red bar, and so
Oh, great.
I
Well,
miss
mean,
part of that.
here we
you
But
go.
we
sound.
should be good on internet in about a week. But no, one thing I was gonna touch upon. If anybody's watching the video podcast, you'd notice that it's just our Discord pictures. And I know Joe recently just got into anime. I know Chris is heavy into anime. I watched it a little bit, and so I just wanted to. I don't know who Joe's character is. I don't know who Chris's character is. Mine's the GOAT of Vegeta. Clearly the best ever. The best to do it. The Prince of all Saiyans.
The
The
prince
one you
of
know
all
who's
two
coming.
people. Okay, 3 people actually. My bad.
Hey,
Yeah, Broly exists.
hey, you're not dealing with the average Saiyan warrior.
Okay, stop, stop. We're not doing this.
So yeah, so Joe, who's your dude? Cause you got the fancy Discord, so you got the animated picture.
I do got the fancy Discord. So my Discord picture is probably it's tough. I want to see. Yeah, he's probably my second favorite character I've had in an anime so far. I'm saying that because I've only watched not a lot. I've watched 2 full ones and I've been dabbling in Dragon Ball. But my
Dabbling's
picture is Vorkel, who is he's just that guy. He's like the second that guy though, because there is one guy who's more that guy, but spoiler free. So Forkel,
Wait,
he's a
so
G.
do you like him more than
What show's it from?
Toto?
It's from Vinland Saga.
Do you like him more than Toto?
Oh, that's tough. I mean, yeah,
I feel that.
because you know, just the way this guy is introduced the second time is
I mean, even the first time.
he just does ridiculous shit like basically the entire anime. He's funny. He's Jared. Let's put it like this: this man is what 7'7", 400 pounds,
Yeah.
cannon,
Yeah.
and just yoked. Like there's a part where he just picks up like forts have like those really long spiky
Like the
fence
pikes,
posts.
the giant big ass
Yeah,
pikes
like a
that
giant
are
pike.
like
He takes that
Yeah.
bitch and throws it at a fucking boat.
Okay.
Yeah, he's that guy.
I respect it. I sees it. I believes it.
All right, Chris.
All right, Chris. Who's yours?
Well, this is the best waifu in all of anime. Period. I will not stand for any kind of slander or disrespect or saying that anybody else from her series is better because it's just not true. I don't want to get into like waifu stuff because that's like the dark side of the anime manga community,
Yeah, I think we should
to say
skip
the
that
least. But this is Chizuru, and if you know anime and you know the show called Rent a Girlfriend, you know who she is. She's the main baddie, and she just is also the most.
The name of the anime is Rent a Girlfriend.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh my god.
Let me tell you,
I-
it's great. It's a lot more than it's a lot more than scratch that. The show itself, very surface level, what you think it is. The manga is where it gets like deep and interesting.
Here we go.
And then you
Yeah,
get
okay.
like, I mean, it's not the anime's fault. The anime would get to it, but I don't think the anime's ever gonna get to that point. But it is very deep, very emotional, and shit like that has been. I've actually been getting into a lot of emotional shit, anime wise, recently, and it's just been hitting different.
Yeah. I'm gonna call Joe out real quick. Joe said I've only seen like 2 animes all the way through, and Joe, in the past like 8 weeks,
That's false. I've watched 3
you
animes
have
all the way
watched
through.
more. You have watched more anime
Eh.
than I have in my entire life, Joe.
Yeah.
That's not entirely
look,
true.
Look. Okay, look. Like, listen. I'll put this out. I was not an anime fan, albeit
No.
5 months ago, Chris.
Roughly,
You're
yeah.
not a fan of the Wendigos, bro.
No, I was not a fan of the Wendigos, and my homie Chris here introduced me to Jujutsu Kaisen. And when I say, you know, yeah,
I think
Okay, yeah.
I think
Basically-
I think captivated is a really good word for
Yeah,
how
I
Joe
was-
felt watching that show. He was
From-
so invested and enthralled with the show. He was just like,
like the show locked me in on the very first episode, and on the very first episode is also when I found my absolute favorite character in anime. It's of course the first fight scene between Gojo and
Skuna, yeah.
Sukuna.
Yeah.
And when he was just sitting on that motherfucker.
Episode?
No, it's the first one.
It should be the second.
It's the second or the first.
It's definitely those
I
first
mean,
two.
all 3 of us binged it, so it all just blends.
Well, no.
Yeah,
I
no.
did binge it, but I did watch it as it was coming out week to week.
Oh yeah. No, he just sat on who apparently was the baddest dude to ever exist, and I was like, yep, that's my guy right there. And that kind of started my propelling me into anime, because then we watched Promise Neverland.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm not gonna get into that.
Oh my god.
But I've never heard Chris cry in my life before, until I watched that with him.
Jared, you have no idea, bro.
No, I watched the first episode with Cody, and I was gonna watch more of it with him, but he was like, "That's the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my entire life."
Bro, it's
It's some
wild. Promise Neverland is fucking wild. It's
it's
great too.
it is some shit.
It's good.
Like
It's bad at the same time. It's just like
it was so good.
it's so
I
good.
called out of work to just finish it. And I was also half because I was just in shambles because of the stupid show.
Yeah. I think even like we just started watching it because like we started watching anime in general because like me and Joe were like I was talking about something. I think it was Attack on Titan. I think it was about Attack on Titan or something.
I remember exactly what it was.
That
So
got
we
you
were
to
talking
start
about-
watching Jujutsu Kaisen?
No, because we were talking about animes with gripping first episodes because of the Tim the Tatman Nick Merckx.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was Promised
Yeah.
Neverland. I was talking about getting you into anime in general.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what
Because I think I was talking about Attack on Titan or something. Because it was when it was coming out. And I was like, bro, like, I just can't. This shit is insane. Like, so much shit is going on, blah, blah, blah. And then you were like, I mean, what's the big deal type beat, right? And then it was like, and I was like, okay, look, you know, maybe because you also tried to say that like stuff that where people are just like talking and there's not a whole lot of action, it's just you don't get interested in it. And I was like, okay, bro, let me hook you up. I got this, bro. The show just ended. You gotta watch it. And then sure enough, he said, oh,
Yep.
yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a fair chance. And then here we are today.
Well, he introduced the show as, hey, you want to watch people beat the brakes off of the other guys? I was like, sure.
Sure enough, that's what it was.
I think I've only seen I think 4 animes all the way through.
Which ones would those
And
even be?
I think you might have caught up or surpassed me. I've only ever seen Dragon Ball. No, well, you told me Joe saw One Punch Man, so that would tie it up. Did you see One Punch Man, Joe?
I haven't finished it. It didn't. Like, it was good, but like, it kind of just, it's fine. But no, I didn't finish it.
Hater. No,
I'm not
I've only
hating.
I've seen the Dragon Balls, all the
This
Dragon
guy.
Balls. I think my audio is messing up right now. It's tweaking.
You're cutting it
It's a
out.
little bit.
But the only thing you have said is Dragon Ball. So.
Yeah.
I know it's because I can't.
Oh.
I can't
You can't
tell.
talk.
I can't tell if Joe is actually just waiting this long to respond.
I mean,
Well, I was letting you talk. So.
yeah, we're just letting you talk. I mean,
Yeah, I was just gonna let you do your thing.
this is kind of the only time where we're not
Like
gonna
that-
be.
There's a whole 2 seconds in between. That's why I was curious. So
I mean, do you want me to interrupt you more? I can do that.
I know talking over each other. Yeah, I get it. But it's
Yeah.
I mean, the
We'll
usual
get there, I'm
stick.
sure.
The usual stick.
no, it's
Yeah.
just,
We'll get
it's
there,
just
I'm
someone
sure.
addresses you with a question and you sit there and you wait. But no, I've seen the Dragon Balls, One Punch Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Ippo, and I think that's it.
Ippo's lit. Ippo's so cool. I
Ippo's
love
lit, Joe,
Ippo.
You would like Ippo. Ippo's lit.
Bro, have you heard of Baki?
It's boxing
Jared?
anime. It's
I'm trying to
lit.
watch. I'm trying to watch
No.
Baki at some point.
Baki's lit, bro. I don't know if we can. You know, can we do like a review episode and like watch the
Yeah.
shit and like
Yeah.
I don't know if we might get DMCA'd. I don't know if we can like play the actual show, but I'm sure we
Well, I
can
think
like.
it'd be getting paid to be DMCA'd. So.
No,
You
I
can still
mean-
get taken down, right?
I mean, who the fuck's gonna see
mean,
random
no,
podcasts?
you just- no, you
You
don't
right.
want-
You right. You right. That's facts. That's
No,
facts.
you don't want stuff. No, because this could go and this could no. But if it gets demonetized, that makes it they don't promote it. It doesn't show up as much if you search things.
That's fair.
Okay,
That's
let's
fair.
just
DMCA or copyright, it won't show up.
let's just put that idea in the back burner.
No,
That's what I'm
100% in the back burner.
But,
No, it's not even on the
so-
stove.
Do we want to get into what we actually plan on talking about
No.
today?
So I want to play a game with you real quick.
Oh,
I want to
okay.
test y'all's knowledge because the Olympics are going on right now.
Uh-huh.
All right. I know. I guarantee neither of y'all have watched any of the Olympics.
I have
I've
not
watched
watched
some.
a single Olympic. No, that's not true.
I've watched
One of
our
Just
I've watched our fucking
basketball and
basketball
track.
team get shit on.
Wow.
I've seen some of the track events. I've seen some gymnastics.
Yeah,
I've
okay.
seen some of
So-
the rowing. I watched
think-
some Olympics.
So what?
I think
So
the
what I
most
want-
Olympics.
what I want-
Okay.
So what I want to do.
First episode.
What I want to do is we're gonna play a game where I'm gonna say a sport, and you're gonna tell me if it's a real Olympic sport or it's a fake Olympic sport. All right.
What
And we'll try to
classifies as an
keep track.
Olympic
We'll
sport?
see who wins.
If it's in the Olympics, what do
It's
you mean?
A sport in the Olympics. Joe, what? I hate you. I hate you.
Use it in a sentence.
I hate you. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna say the sport. I can give like a brief description on it, and you'll say real or fake. Okay.
Okay.
Bet.
Got it? Sound good?
Bet.
If I describe something poorly, don't get mad at me.
I won't.
All 7
Maybe.
people that are watching. Okay.
Nice.
So. Squash.
That's
yes,
a
that's real.
That's sport. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I've heard about it.
Fake.
It's fake.
Oh.
Damn, I
Fake.
swore it was
Fake.
Me too.
0-0.
like archery
0-0.
or something.
All right. Next one. 3v3 basketball.
That's real.
Yes.
Women's.
Yes. That's
Yep,
real.
if it's the
The
women's
men's team's gonna
basketball, it's
qualify.
3v3.
Yep.
1 point each. 1 point each. Okay. BMX freestyle.
Yes.
Real.
That's real.
Yep, real. All right. All tied up.
Only reason why I know that
Let's
is I saw a tweet today.
Okay. MMA.
Fake.
False. Fake. Why did I say false?
Correct. Fake. They have like judo,
Yeah.
wrestling, sambo, boxing,
They essentially
don't
have
have
MMA, but it's just separated.
but it's not mixed. They have MMA.
Right.
Oh,
It's not
so,
mixed.
so it's not mixed.
No, it's just martial art.
I just
Okay.
want to see a boxer if I did sumo. Anyways.
We have
Huh?
downhill longboard racing.
Fake.
Fake.
Fake. You're right.
Let's go.
Okay. Y'all are doing. The only one y'all have missed so far is squash.
I feel like I've heard
I
squash. because
swore
sports is
squash would have been like an obscure thing, like archery
You
or
would think
something.
so because they have the other racket sports where they have
Yeah, they have badminton in the
ping pong,
Olympics.
Table tennis. They have badminton, but they don't have squash.
That's weird.
All right. We got a couple more. All right. Roller derby.
real.
Fake.
Ooh, our first split decision. Chris gets the point. Chris
Let's
takes the lead
go.
by 1.
Oh,
Let's
that sounds
go.
real.
Let's go. That would be lit though.
That would be lit. That's what I was thinking.
All right.
I don't think enough countries have enough money to participate in something like
Equestrian.
That's real.
that. That's real.
Equestrian. Do y'all know what equestrian is?
That's the
Yeah,
horseback
horses
riding
and
shit.
shit.
Horse tricks and all that.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
I used to.
All right.
You know what? Never mind. That's a conversation for another time.
All right. Rhythmic gymnastics.
Yes, that's
so
real.
this
Hey.
is gymnastics. This is so hey. This is gymnastics.
With
where
ribbons
they're
and
doing
shit.
the ribbons.
Yeah,
And shit.
that's
yes.
real.
Oh, that's real. Okay,
That's
that's
real.
real.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe would have lost a point there. Okay. All right. This is a long list. We'll do 2 more. Surfing.
Real.
Fake.
It's new.
Is
Joe
it?
gets the point.
Damn.
Joe gets the point tied up.
Mhm.
Joe gets the
Damn.
point
This is it right here then.
tied up.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Last one. All right. So, hey,
Joe, let's both
this is
agree
what's
so
gonna
we can
happen. I'm
tie.
gonna say it. I want to answer first, then I want Joe to answer.
Ah, fuck.
So,
You're cutting out.
y'all can. So Joe. So you guys can hedge your bets and say the same thing and tie. All right. So the sport is gonna be powerlifting. Chris, what is your answer?
I say true. It's it's not fake. It's real.
Wait, so when you say
It's real.
powerlifting,
Hold on. Yeah. Are you talking about like
so
Chris
the
says
entirety?
Powerlifting.
You know, whatever. I said real. I'm sticking with it. Final
because
answer.
it's all Well, for the sake of gamemanship, I'm gonna say fake. But I know there's powerlifting events, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Our 2021-2020 real or fake Olympic champion is none other than Mr. Joe. Powerlifting is a fake
Let's go.
Olympic sport. The
Sugma.
one that you guys are thinking of is Olympic. Is
Olympic?
called
Is it Olympic weightlifting? God damn
Yeah.
it.
Weightlifting is the clean and jerk and the snatch. It's just two events. It's Olympic weightlifting. Powerlifting is squat, bench, and deadlift.
That's
Now,
so dumb.
if I said Paralympic, powerlifting would have been in it because bench press is in the Paralympic games. But
That's the one where people don't have like. Anyways. Oh, I'm not gonna continue.
Man, I swore powerlifting
Oh,
was
God.
like in there. I swore it was. Damn, you got me. You got me good, man.
No, that's why people say it's not a real sport.
Is that what
Yeah,
is that what
y'all
is that
look
what people
pretty good,
is that
though.
what
I
people
left a couple
qualify as a
didn't
sport
say
nowadays?
weightlifting. I
Is
left
if
a
it's in
couple
the
out.
Olympics?
I mean, I'm sure some people.
I don't
Consider
think
that's
it would
fine.
because they're just now adding cheerleading to the Olympics.
I
So
mean,
I don't
let's
think
go.
it
I don't think that should have ever been in the
applies
Olympics.
that it has to be in the Olympics to be a sport.
Fair enough.
Because then
That's fair.
American football wouldn't be a sport.
Yeah, but it has a ball, and everybody
What?
says that if it has a ball, it's a sport.
But
Anywho, with that, I actually want to bring up some shit. So as we know, the Olympics are on right now, and our basketball team not doing so hot, but they can recover.
Long season.
Also the NBA Finals just went off a couple weeks ago, as we know. So I wanted to ask what your guys' thoughts are on the current state of the NBA. Like, because seeing how our Olympic team is performing, plus with current people like Luka, like Porzingis, like Giannis, people that like aren't American athletes dominating the NBA. What do you think that like? How do you guys feel about that in terms of like just the state of the NBA?
Do you mind if I go first, since I probably have the least to say?
you got it.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
I actually like the idea that we're getting more like overseas talent. Especially the talent we're getting now. I mean, there's really not much to be said about both Luka and Giannis that hasn't already been said. Giannis he really does live up to it. He's a literal freak of nature. I mean, just that last game performance really kind of solidifies him as probably undoubtedly the best guy in the NBA right now. And Luka, everyone knows. I mean,
know
you
that's
guys
your
know
guy.
how I feel about.
That's your guy.
Luka is my guy. I love Luka. I love his play style. His seemingly like kind of, I don't want to say like unathletic, but just the way he plays the game is just it's fun to watch because it's just different. I think because I've recently started getting into basketball. I say recently, it's been like a 4-year thing. But no, I think it's really good that we're getting guys from overseas who are incredibly talented. And I think the NBA is in a good spot because a lot of the young guys really showing out. And that's good for the NBA because we're seeing a lot of the old guard turn over. Like LeBron.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no mystery that LeBron is aging. I mean, we see it happens to everybody. It happened to Jordan. It happened to Kobe. It happens to everybody. It happened to Shaq. It's just, it's just how it goes. You can't play a sport forever.
Nope.
And we're definitely seeing father time.
Hey, tell that Tom Brady, bro.
Listen, we're definitely seeing father time take his. We're definitely seeing father time take his toll on LeBron. But with the young guys, I think the NBA is in a good spot.
All right, so touch on what you said about the Olympic team. They had 3 bad games in a row, but they've literally ever since that France game, they've been blowing everybody out. They're like, I think I looked at it today. I think they're first in points for, and like first in points against.
Well,
So they're if you
like,
take out
look,
that they
I
brought
get
JaVale
that,
in,
I get
but
that, and I mean, I say that, but I mean, it's just like, it's because, so I was asking because, like, normally, and I mean, people get better, and as we can see, like, athletes around the world are just getting better at whatever they want to do, right? But I was just saying because, like, basketball is kind of like just something that America has just like kind of just put their foot on everybody's throat, you know? So I was wondering if that's like, do you think that's because of like the talent that we're getting from overseas, or like
no,
what?
I think the biggest thing that I think is changing with basketball, and I will preface this saying I've only been really getting into basketball the past 5 6 years, and so I'm not at liberty to be final judgment on anything, but I I think the biggest thing is the way the NBA is played has become drastically different. The way that international national ball is a lot of very team oriented,
Yeah,
and the refs let them get away with a lot more than in the NBA. And the NBA has become a very much individual driven league rather than team driven league, which I like because power to the kid. Not that's kind of impacted not necessarily loyalty, but I think focus on really like team building, and
yeah,
it's really showing that in this Olympic where we have a bunch of dudes who are the guy and just ball out, but they're not meshing that well together. But if you look at the teams that have been successful, if you look at the Bucks this past year, they're a team that has come up together, and they're the team that obviously there were injuries, but like you have the Nets lost to them. All the teams that were just stacked with talent that they just brought in instead of building it up are the ones that lost. And so I think that's the biggest thing with international play is a lot of the guys that are on like the international teams like Australia, France and everything. Those guys have been playing together and have come up from when they played on like their younger FIBA teams and have come up together and have played all the time together. Or like the Team USA team, it's kind of like, hey, who are the best players that are willing to go?
yeah,
And so it's just that chemistry. It's the first year that Pop's there, and I love Pop, but Pop's trying to implement like the Spurs system, which doesn't really work that well with a bunch of just superstars.
yeah,
And so I think that's why Team USA has been struggling is just they haven't had that team chemistry. They have a coach who's more hell bent on having his system work instead of trying to get a system going to work for the players that he has. And I just think that's the biggest issue. In terms of where the NBA is at, I think the NBA is in a great place, and that I think the power of the players allowing more player movement. Like we just saw Russell Westbrook just got traded, and
yeah,
it's allowing players to move more freely. And I mean, a lot of this is due to like LeBron always signing those 1+1 contracts when he's with Cleveland and everything and with
hmm,
Miami, so he could keep getting paid the most. And it's just players not getting locked in for like 5 6 years,
Yeah.
like how it is in the NFL, and they get fed up 2 years into their contract. And so you just see a lot more player movement. It makes the league more fun to watch. Like, damn, Russell Westbrook's on his fourth team in four
yeah,
years.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you get to see. I know both you guys have your feelings about Russell Westbrook, but just like imagine in the NFL if you saw like, you saw you saw like Peyton Manning played for 4 different teams in 4 different years, and I'm not saying Russell Westbrook's Peyton Manning, but like you have an
No, it's just
MVP
no, for
player
sure, yeah.
just flying around the league, and so I think it makes the NBA more fun. The NBA I think is the most fun sport to play what if scenarios
I
yeah.
think there's a huge difference though,
and
also like
hypotheticals. Like
in
obviously,
in basketball, you can kind of like get away with that, right? You can kind of get away with one dude going a bunch of different teams because I mean it's 5 on 5. One person can have a whole lot more impact than on a football field. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Um,
But it's also
definitely.
just the development of the league. Like if you look at
Yeah,
like a lot of the rule changes that the NBA has implemented, Adam Silver's implemented, are more player favored, and then the NFL, a lot of the stuff is more organization favored.
Yeah.
because it's the
I mean, it's
organization that
always going
makes
to
the
be the
most money. You
It's
can have
always
a
going to be the
superstar
organization.
player.
I don't know.
Yeah, but like you can't like the with the new CBA rule where NFL players, if they're trying to hold out of a contract and they don't show up for mandatory days, they get fined $50,000 a day. So they can't really hold out anymore. Where and like in the NBA, every NBA contract's fully guaranteed. Like the teams have to pay it out. And so NFL, like you're lucky if you get a fully guaranteed contract. And so it's just like I think
But the
that's the good
NFL,
steps that the NBA is taking for, and I think that's what people are realizing more of. But to touch on what else you said, I think I'm happy with I love all the international players coming in
mm,
just because it's just representation from the world. I think
Yeah.
basketball, it's not nearly on soccer's level of like international love of the game, but
Yeah.
it's the closest sport I think to soccer that has you can just pick up and play it wherever. Like
yeah.
American football
Yeah.
could be super big, but it's a lot harder to have the resources to have a league and to like have stuff. But like with basketball, you just need ball on a court and you're good.
Yeah.
Like you don't need everything like soccer. You just need a ball and two nets
Well, it's definitely
and you're
resource heavy.
good. And so I like that. I like how and like it's great too just because you got all these people that are just coming from overseas that are getting their chance and it gets more international love. And so like you had a bunch of people last night or not last night 2 nights ago in the NBA draft that were foreign players. You had the dude
Yeah.
from Australia that was picked super early. You have another I think his name's Usman. Joe, you're gonna love this guy. This guy he's just a foreign big that you would like. He's the type of guy you would like. I think his name's Usman.
I,
Forget what team drafted.
I'm not
But
gonna. I'm
yeah, I
gonna
mean,
be
yeah, I
honest.
like the NBA. A lot of like the top 10 people are. What's up?
I could not name a single person in the draft.
I mean, the only.
You know Cade
I
Cunningham.
mean, I've never really
I
paid
don't know who
attention
that
to
is.
the NBA draft.
You mean me neither.
Even still, like, I mean, I asked this NBA question, and I'm sitting here talking about, oh, I didn't even watch the damn draft, but it's like, I mean, I've always thought it's always been about
I
like
didn't watch the
just
draft either.
once you get into like the NBA and things like that, from what I've seen anyway. I mean, I've been a fan of basketball since like probably about 2004, I think. And I started really following basketball around 2007, with that Kobe and well, I said Kobe, the Lakers and Celtics series. That was just where I actually like for real started following basketball. And I mean, bro, basketball has just been my favorite sport. It's so live. I love it. It's so much fun. So much fun to watch and play.
Oh,
It's I don't know. It's something
I will
different.
say this: that I think the, I think I'm keeping up with the draft now more, and I think this is also a testament to where the NBA is at, where basketball is at as a whole. Is the NBA draft used to be draft a guy, hope in 3 years he's good. Rookies did not make an impact. They barely played. That's typically how it went. And when you
Yeah.
compare it to like the NFL, where a dude can be drafted and be the face of the franchise, and he's the guy from day one. Like you got guys that are getting drafted and they're all pros as rookies. Like that's insane. You never really got that in the NBA. Like what Magic won Finals MVP as a rookie, and like that's insane. But it's also just like recent years. I think it's a testament to where basketball has come. That a lot of rookies are making a much bigger impact in their first year, their first 2 years, just balling out. It's insane. And so like I've been keeping up more with the draft just because I'm like, oh, these guys, instead of having to wait 3 years for them to maybe be something or to show they have talent, it's oh hey, they could come into the league now and contribute to a team and actually help them out. And then
Well,
even like later round players do the
well,
same
I mean,
thing.
yeah, like a lot of that though is because like I mean, you think about how players are developed nowadays for basketball. I mean, you get kids averaging like shit. The Ball brothers, like I mean, they're not the best example, but I mean, all of them were studs in high school, right? Like, I mean, all of them were averaging like what I guess 17 plus points to some extent. And I mean, and then you have things where like, hey, LeVar was like, yo, LaMelo, you're not going to college. So he sent him overseas to go play pro basketball like 15. You know, so he's doing like pro drills. He's like drilling, like getting his game right for what, 3 years? Comes over here, rookie of the year, balling.
Baller.
Like he's insane. He's so good. And
Well, yeah,
I don't even
that's
know
why
if
I
that's
think that
even
the
an
NBA is at a
overseas
good
thing.
spot.
Yeah. I think it's
It
just
was
the
the
development
developmental
is
leagues and
crazy.
everything.
The only thing I have to say, because I think this is a
Oh
huge
yeah, they have
thing.
like the new G League.
I think a huge thing about this, about player development is, I mean, AAU basketball, I think is like both a blessing and a curse to a lot of players because I think that they're getting a lot of game time experience, but they don't like. I mean, obviously, I didn't play AAU basketball like that. Like, I mean, I played some when it wasn't like football season, but I mean, AAU basketball, I feel like is just not because you're constantly just traveling and playing, traveling and playing, traveling and playing. I feel like there's not enough time to get like A plus grades in your fundamentals and stuff. But granted, I wasn't that good at basketball, so who am I to say? But I just think that it's just because I think that that's something that they take seriously over like overseas, which is why I think a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
no, I
those
mean look
guys
at
are better younger. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's
oh yeah,
a
I
big
mean
reason
look at
why.
Luca. Luca
Yep,
was a
that was my yep.
look at Luca. Luca was a oh I forget what league he was. I don't know if he was Hungary League or just Euro League, but
I
he
mean, it
was a
doesn't really
Euro League
matter.
MVP when he was like 18, and so he comes over. He's already been playing with a bunch of pro guys, and some of those Euro leagues are legit. Like,
I mean, didn't old boy say
yeah,
that like scoring in the NBA is easy or something? Like,
Well, I mean, it
well,
is
that's the
though
thing
because
too. Just
like
like
you
the
can just
refs.
get away with
yeah,
so much nonsense here in the NBA. Like, I mean, in the NBA, they're damn near like just like prime example was when anytime like Giannis got touched when he was in the lane, they were calling a foul. Like, dude, come on. Like, I think that's some of the most sickening stuff. I
I
mean, there's no reason Giannis
I
should be
will.
taking 20 free throws. Like,
no,
I mean,
this
to his
come
I
on.
don't
credit, he wasn't just getting grabbed.
No, no, no,
Like
no,
they were just.
no, no, no. I understand.
Devin
I
Booker.
understand. I get that. But I get that. But I'm just saying, like, still, like, y-
I kind
a,
of
a dude shouldn't have 20 free throws in one game. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's facts. I kind
What's
of
that?
like
What was that
the
series that the Heat had that? No, it
Uh,
was the Kings back in the day. The Kings had the 40 free throw game or some shit like that.
shit. Dwayne Wade in the finals had like
Yeah,
26 or 27
yeah.
free throws.
What were you gonna say, Joe?
I kind of like the offensive heavy kind of direction league is going in. Because basketball's at its most fun to watch, I feel, when people just score buckets, right? Like,
Well,
it's fun to watch guys like, you know, Giannis and Luca just do shit. You know, like I remember a few shots in the Mavericks Clippers where Luca's just doing shit that just had your jaw on the fucking floor. Like some of these fadeaway shots, like it's like what the fuck, and then Giannis
yeah,
just being an absolute, just I don't even know how to explain it. Like
that's why. I mean, that's why I think that kind of goes both ways. Where I think it's good, but it's
yeah,
also bad.
that's
It
just
makes the game more accessible for casual fans that aren't
which
super into
I'm a
it.
casual fan.
Yeah,
So
because they just see points like, oh my
yeah,
god, he's fucking tearing it up. But then it's also like the people that are really into the league and keep up with it are like, oh my god, like what is going on? There's no defense. They're calling a foul on everything. They're just letting them get away with all this. So I think there's give and take, and I think
yeah,
they'll find the right balance. I know they potentially might bring in some FIBA rules, which I think would be good. But yeah, I think they just need to find a good middle ground
yeah.
on that, because like it's like the same thing with football. Like I know if you're watching a football game, even if it's a little slow, I know, especially you, Joe, you could get into it because you're a defensive guy, and if there's not a
Yeah.
lot of points getting scored, and it's good defense, like, oh, this is a good game. But casual fan would be like, this sucks. They've scored three
Yeah.
points in 4 quarters. This sucks.
But
And
even
so it's like,
football,
yeah,
but one of the bigger issues with football and some low scoring games is sometimes not even good defense, and it's just like an absolute
yeah,
inept just experience of like offense. I mean, I'm a Jets fan, right? And when I would watch the Jets just play a bad team, I'm not even enjoying the game from a defensive standpoint, like because it's just their bad team's just bad, and that's not fun to watch.
that's why I think the NBA is more accessible too, because
Hmm.
you'll have your bad teams, but you'll usually have at least one good dude on the bad team,
Yeah,
or at least the other team will just be running it up on them.
I like, well, 2 years ago, the Washington Wizards and Bradley Beal, like dudes just scoring buckets, averaging like what 30 something points a game.
He did
He's
average like
still
30 something for
it's
like a
it's
stretch of a
something
month.
stupid,
It was
yeah.
it was crazy.
And he was just like fun to watch, and it still made the experience accessible and watchable. While you watch a bad team in football, you just want to put your head through
That's
a wall.
tough. That's tough.
It's really tough to watch a bad football team, man. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
and I've been doing it for a long time. So
I mean, oh god, I don't even want to start talking about football.
But
I mean, I'm sure we'll get into it at some point.
But no, we will. We will. I mean, that's whew.
It's just the
Yep.
nature of the three people that are here.
season starts in 2 weeks, boys.
Or when like
I know.
or
I'm
we,
kind of excited.
or when you're like playing fantasy and then like the running back you drafted kind of gets hurt for the whole season. That
And
kind of
you're running,
blows.
and somehow your running back only rushes for a yard against the New York Jets
Hey,
on like
hey, hey,
16
hey.
attempts.
He had -2 yards at one point in that game.
No one
That's
would
my
have gotten
boy,
clowned
though.
more. I don't
That's
think
my
anyone
boy,
would have
though,
gotten
bro.
clowned more than DeMarco Murray did when he signed that big deal with the Eagles. And after 2 games, had negative rushing yards.
Yeah.
Not after one, after two. Oh my god. I. Uh,
That's pain because I like DeMarco Murray.
yeah. Well, hey, I've done a topic. Chris done a topic. You got one you want to talk about? You got anything you want to talk about, Joe?
I mean, do we want to stick on the sports path? Because I'm kind of gonna
You got a
derail
sports one?
this.
We
I
probably
do not
should
have a
stay on.
sports
We
one.
probably should stay on the sports.
I got
Side
a
of
sports
things.
question.
Mm-hmm.
I got a sports question that we can jam on real quick. I will say this: we've been going for about 50 something minutes, and so I don't know if we had a time frame when to shoot for, but we're around 50-ish minutes.
We're
I
we're,
think
we're, we're at 52 minutes 38 seconds.
we're doing a good job.
Okay. Yep.
This is a
All
good
right.
pace.
So with a lot of the injuries that happened, like in the NBA Finals, everyone getting hurt, and with like Carson Wentz just went down again. Happens
Poor
once a year.
guy. Poor
What
guy.
what have there been any like sports injuries that not happened because but all three of us have a litany of sports injuries, but have happened to someone that you watch or anything that just hit you a little different? And Chris, I know Derrick
Dog,
Rose.
look, bro. I'm not gonna talk about
I know
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose. I'll let you say it a little bit, but I want something other than
I'm not gonna talk about
Derrick
Derrick Rose. I mean,
Rose. And then I can start if to help get the ball rolling.
I mean, I
got
kind
two.
of
I'll talk
already
about one
had.
right now.
I kind of already had
I
my
got one right
idea.
now. This one's been
Okay.
but my first one is this one. This one sucks. I'm a Cowboys fan, and all of Tony Romo's injuries, all of them,
Tony,
all of them,
no.
all of them are so
that's pain.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
All
that's-
of them are so bad.
And
He's broke his collarbone twice, broke his pinky, and then this last time when he broke his back, I just remember watching that preseason game against the Seahawks. You see like Zeke's first play where he like does the spin move on Cam Chancellor, and you're like, oh my god, we got a shot this year, which we say every year. But then you see just like Tony Romo, who's just coming off of being hurt. You see him scrambling, and you're just like, oh no. And I'm there with my uncle. I'm like, we're like, just go down, go down, go down. And then I think it was Michael Bennett or Cliff Averill just hit him, and he's just laying there, and he's just like, damn, not again. And it turns out he broke his back. But then in comes Dak Prescott. We go 13-3, first or number 1 seed, and the whole debate that year was, oh, should Tony come in for Dak? It's like, no, you gotta leave the hot hand in. And then Tony got his last like series against the Eagles where he went like 5 for 6 and threw a touchdown. But then you get to that Packers game where Cowboys did everything right, but they gave Aaron Rodgers a minute and 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
And you just left there and you just thinking like, damn, how cool would have a rematch been between the Packers and the Cowboys in the playoffs again? And the last time Tony Romo played Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs was the catch. And how Tony has that
What?
playoff, how Tony kind of has more experience than Dak, and maybe that, I hate you, that Romo has a little more experience than Dak, and how different that game could have gone, and how different this season could have gone if he didn't break his back, and how he probably might still be playing if that didn't happen. But now he's just getting paid millions of dollars to talk. But yeah, that's my first one that really hurt me. What was the one you were thinking about, Joe?
Uh, First one, well, probably have to think about another one, but first one that really kind of hit me is it's kind of a slew of injuries at this point, but it's got to be my man JJ Watt, man.
Yeah.
Like an
Yeah.
idol for me.
Yeah, I feel that.
By far and away my favorite was still is my favorite player. I do have players I like and I talk about a lot in the NFL, but no, there's not one that I just vibed with quite like JJ Watt. Because I'm not a Texans fan, but I remember them booing him and all that jazz and people being upset. And from that point, I just want that guy to succeed. And then we all know what he became, and just watching him get injured again and again and miss parts of seasons, miss whole seasons, it's really hurt because I'm a massive fan of him. He's the only player that I own a jersey of that's not a Jets player. Yeah, it's just
Crazy too. The trajectory of his career, three
yeah,
defensive player of the years in a
right.
row.
Like how many
And
20 sack seasons? I mean, come on. Like he was on pace to be better
yeah,
than guys, statistically better than guys like Lawrence Taylor. I mean, he
I
was just
mean, I think
disruptive.
he
He
had
won
the
the
ability to do that. Like he was that
yeah.
kind of dude. Like
He was an animal.
I
I
think
mean,
the
the
I think the
pressures, the
yeah
swats, the sacks, the tackles for
I think
loss.
the
He was
crazy part is we are seeing who JJ Watt should have been, which is Aaron Donald. I think we're seeing that. I
and
understand they're different players, but just like
I'm a massive fan of Aaron
that,
Donald as well.
I think yeah, I just think that JJ Watt, his legacy is what obviously his legacy is his own. He's first ballot Hall of Famer if I'm a voter. But um the whole like if you see like what Aaron Donald's done, it's like oh shit, that's JJ Watt. Like shit.
Yeah, but yeah,
The
man.
same dude, same
Yeah,
career trajectory, 3 defensive player of the
yeah,
years, 20 sacks. Yeah.
but that's my definite big one is JJ Watt. That's the one that hurts me the most.
well, I got something for y'all. It's not necessarily an injury per se, but culturally we lost a player for a couple years. When Mike Vick got put away, dog, that just like, cause I mean, dude, I don't know if y'all actually watched Vick or not, but
I think we all know who Vic was.
everybody, I know you know who Vick was, but I don't know if
No,
you
but
like
no, but no,
watched
we
him.
know
You know what I'm saying?
we know he was that dude.
Dude was
Like,
that guy, and I mean, he like anybody like Lamar Jackson's doing basically the same thing right now, right? I mean, he can't. I mean, I personally don't believe he can throw as well as Vic could. Vic wasn't even the best at throwing, but I still think
Nick's got
he's
like
better.
under 60% completion percentage.
Anywho, that's not the point. The point is, like I said, from like a cultural standpoint, when he got locked up for whatever he did or didn't do, I don't really care what happened, but he got put away, right? So
worse than gloss over that.
it's just like it just left like a hole, because like I mean it's just like, yo, like what's going on? Where's our guy? He's in jail. He's not here. He can't bring the same excitement
I
that you
think
wanted
him
to see.
putting away made him.
He's
I
he's in jail because he was throwing
I-
dogs in pools that were electric. Anyways, Yeah, nope. Gloss over it. We're
Listen,
good.
Yeah.
listen.
We're good.
Listen,
We're
listen.
Oh my god.
It's not about
Uh,
if he did it or if he didn't do it.
Are we getting canceled?
There,
He did do it.
there
He
was
did do
there
it.
was stuff done
Can we
at his
stop? Can we
house.
stop? Can we stop?
No,
Regardless,
no,
like I
hey,
said, the
hey,
point
okay,
is
touch on
culturally,
yours.
I really feel like
No.
that was just a really huge blow to a lot of kids,
We getting
especially when we were growing up.
first episode of
I mean, you guys were the ones who wanted to talk about it.
I mean,
I
will
tried to-
say
I
that
tried
was
to go past
it.
definitely
Talk about
shocking.
injuries.
I tried to go past
I will
it.
say he oh yeah, you can't gloss over it because that's
I mean,
part
it's damn near ancient history. We know what's happened. It's been
it's
there.
Not what he did again. He did do it. But I think
he's
part of
done
that
his
also
stuff.
makes his impact, the loss of him. I think so I think him going away made
Comeback,
the
though.
impact of his comeback
That
more
comeback.
apparent. Where how he did
Oh,
do
for
his
sure.
time, he did pay for it. He changed, and then we saw how great he was after being locked up
For
for
sure.
a few years. And it's like, damn, what could have happened if he didn't get locked up?
Yes,
And
that's
how
mean,
different
those-
it should have been if
along
he
the
did.
Those
lines
Eagle
of what would
seasons
have
were-
happened.
yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, and so
Another one,
Yeah,
like an actual
but-
injury, like was when Kobe tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
oh, bro,
uh,
if I don't know if y'all like were watching that season, but
It's Kobe.
the Lakers were damn near out of the playoffs, and
oh,
Kobe
that was the
Kobe
Dwight Howard, Steve Nash
borderline Kobe borderline brought them to the playoffs, and he just fucking. I mean, you just hate seeing it happen to somebody like that, man.
playing
I
them
mean,
Tom Thibodeau minutes.
R.I.P. Kobe.
you hate seeing that happen. Like, I mean, like prime example would be like, say if like who was the 8th seed this year? I don't even fucking remember.
Me neither.
Oh,
The
like I think it
Lakers.
was the Lakers, right? They'd be like
It was.
watching like LeBron after willing because they were like no, not them.
They're the
It'd be like
the
Steph.
Grizzlies
It'd be like because Steph basically carried his team all season this year. So it'd be like watching Steph like go out there and like fucking tear his arm or something, tear his arm up, and then he can't
Literally
shoot
when he
anymore.
broke his hand. Literally when he broke his hand.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I guess yeah.
but no,
I know,
that hurt.
Yeah.
That was deep.
I know. I have one, but the one that I did think of that I think we could all agree upon is everything that's been happening to Klay Thompson in the past like 2-3 years.
Ah,
Oh,
dog.
That is-
Come on,
That's
Klay.
tough, bro.
I hate to see that.
Because he
Two
don't
ACL tears,
complain.
Achilles.
He don't complain. He just goes out there and balls, or he tries to. These past couple of seasons, or I say these past couple, he didn't play these past couple of seasons. The last couple seasons he was playing, he'd been struggling a little bit, but damn it, if he wasn't out there if he wasn't out there
We
playing,
all know who Klay is.
if he wasn't
Boy
out
is
there playing,
electric.
man, I think he might be the best spark plug in NBA history. I mean,
You just see the impact that he has at the Warriors where he goes down and then they're just not anything.
yeah,
Like, they don't make the playoffs this year after Steph's scoring like damn near 40 points a game and they can't make the playoffs because they don't have Klay. I still think that if Klay doesn't go down, they beat the Raptors in that final series.
that's tough. I
He doesn't
don't
get
think they beat him. I definitely think it goes to 7 though.
But that just shows that his impact is more just also just like good dude and just quiet, just a hooper and just
Just a certified
My-
baller.
mine was my next one is more of what it did to my team is when Kawhi hurt his ankle against the Warriors in like
Oh
2017.
yeah, that's
2016.
pain. That's pain.
That was
All my homies hate Andrew Bogut.
that was so bad. They were up on this. They were up. It wasn't Bogut.
It was Zaza,
It
wasn't
was
it?
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was Zaza.
Yeah, Zaza Pachulia.
My bad.
They were up. They were up on the 73-9 Warriors in like game 1 by like 20, and he just rolls his ankle, and then end up losing the series because he misses the rest of the series, and then that's the downfall of his relationship with Pop and everything. Because after he rolls his ankle, tries to rush back from that, ends up hurting his quad, And he goes to get that like second opinion, and Pop's like, "You don't need that second opinion," and the whole team turns on him, and he goes, "Get me out of here!"
Yeah.
And then trade him away. Raptors win a chip. Spurs just been mediocre ever since then. Just pain. It's pain. As soon as I start actually getting into basketball, my team goes from 20 years of excellence to picking in the lottery.
I mean, it doesn't help that like your best players had also been there for like 20 years.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. But you think,
Tim
no, but you're
Duncan's
like,
like
oh, we'll have
ancient. Like,
Kawhi here forever. And it's, nope, he wants out.
I mean, I think he was eventually going to get to LA at some point somehow, honestly.
Yeah. But I think
But
he would have stayed longer.
yeah,
And they
I
could have
think it's
done something
possible.
different.
I think it's possible for
'Cause
sure.
they had him and LaMarcus A. Tony Parker was still there. DeJounte Murray was on the come up. But, pain.
I think
Jody,
another person that I think
oh.
was just like not like he's done playing now. Like Andrew Luck,
oh,
yeah,
it's tough,
yeah,
man. I mean,
yeah,
he was doing everything he could for his team, you know. Not to
yeah.
say that there
And
weren't
yeah.
other people on
on
that
his
team
back.
doing it, but he was doing what he could,
You can
and
tell that man was
I
building
was
this big
constantly
thing.
got hurt. And I mean, I just love how the Colts treated him and his decision to leave and step away from the game. I think that was That's well respected,
Yeah.
and a lot
I
more
hate how
organizations should
I
take
hate
that into
because I see
consideration.
what I hate that because I always equate everything that happened to him as the same thing with Tony Romo and the Cowboys. Is obviously I think Luck definitely had bigger potential than Romo and could have been significantly better. But they're in the same position where it's you have a franchise type quarterback, you get him skill players, but no line, no defense, and it's just like, all right, figure it out. And then by the time they're all beaten up, battered, and bruised, and have been hurt before, then you get them the O line they need, but it's too late. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
just it's the
because their
same
window's
thing.
closed. Yeah.
The same thing. Yep.
How'd you feel
And so it's
about
like, oh, they finally got Luck. Ugh.
how'd you feel about the Dak thing that happened?
Oh, the ankle?
Yeah.
I mean, I think last season was gonna be a wash anyways because the
You
O
thought
line
so?
was. Oh yeah. We had no defense. Our O line, the only
I
two
mean, y'all still
returning
could have
players we
taken
had was.
the division though. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we could
Wouldn't
have,
be
but
hard.
no, we almost won the division with Andy Dalton. I'll take it. We had Ben DiNucci start a game. Yeah, if Dak played, we would have won the division. But still, I think this season still wouldn't have been like I don't think it plays out that different. Zeke sucked. We only Lyle Collins was out for the season.
He's on his way
Tyron
out.
Smith is out for the season. Travis Frederick just retired. We had two undrafted free agents starting at offensive tackle. Like our best offensive lineman outside of Zach Martin last year was Connor Williams, who actually was solid last year. But then we literally didn't. Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch didn't know how to tackle. Our best defensive back was our second round pick rookie. Like the
It's
season
good
was
though.
not gonna go the way that we thought it would, and so like, yeah, I was upset when we signed Dak to $40 million a year. Ugh.
What do you
I
mean,
think
bro?
Dak should have gotten paid, but you just look around the league and no team who's paying their quarterback that much is winning Super Bowls. And so,
I do have my second guy though.
all right,
Um, quarter, quarterback of the defense. Luke Kuechly.
Oh
um,
yeah, man.
uh,
I mean,
That's a tough one.
not even 30, or he's pushing it early. Like, again, I'm a defensive guy, so a lot of my connections are gonna be with defensive people. And I mean, what wasn't there to love about Luke Kuechly? Good dude, straight baller. Nothing to dislike about the guy. And just out of the blue, I that retirement video. I mean, come on. If you were ever a football player, you just felt the pain that man was feeling having to retire for,
yeah,
basically save his head. I mean,
yeah,
you hate to see it, but at the end of the day, you respect it. And I mean, that man, if you watch football, you know just how good Luke Kuechly was. Uh,
oh yeah,
but
I
of
watched him in
course,
Tony Romo's comeback game. threw 2 picks to him on Thanksgiving, bro. Oh my god. Oh, this is so horrible. Oh my god.
It was fun to watch, man. Dude flew around that field.
Yeah, he did, bro.
Yeah, I
Damn.
know there's 2 more that I want to mention. I won't take very long on them because I want us
Okay.
to get to the other stuff that you guys want to talk about. First one, Universal. I think all of us can agree on this. Damn, Alex Smith, bro.
Oh, the broken leg.
Man.
If y'all did y'all watch that whole video on
I mean,
everything
Yeah.
he went through?
he
Well,
got
I've
Oh my
seen it.
sepsis.
god.
I've seen
I
part
know
of
how
it,
big of a
but
deal
I haven't
sepsis
seen
is.
I haven't seen the whole video, but I've seen
Oh my
I've
god.
seen some of
That's
it.
the fact that he went out and he played last year was insane.
Oh,
I think everyone can just agree that he's just the dude. He's
he had
forever holds a place in one of my favorite players just from that. Like,
that
oh
man
my
had Mamba
god.
mentality.
I've never wanted to root for the Washington football team ever in my life, except when he was playing after
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
But last one, nothing hurt my younger self more than seeing Colt McCoy hurt his shoulder against Alabama.
Dog,
in
don't
that
get me started with
championship.
that. That almost got
If
me kicked out of Alabama at one point.
really,
Cause I think the next year or a couple years after that, I was driving up to South Carolina and we stopped at Alabama and we're taking a visit, like an unofficial visit, obviously. So you're just taking a visit and you're just walking around and stuff. And then they they showed us like the picture of when they won that championship, right? And I was like, y'all wouldn't have won if Colt McCoy didn't get hurt.
Oh, stop it!
I swear to God, I said that.
it's
I
true.
wasn't. I
No, it's
wasn't
true.
watching college. I knew nothing about college football at that time. So
I was
No,
like,
Joe, they
y'all aren't
almost
winning that
won with a
game if
freshman
Colt
Garrett
McCoy.
Gilbert.
Yeah,
at the end of the day,
That was
my
no,
brain
it was
always defaults to Bama being Bama.
well,
So
Bama
I
it
wasn't
was no,
Bama then.
this Texas team was they were
Like
Bama
that
was
was when
that was
like
when Bama was becoming Bama.
that was
But
when
that
okay.
Texas team
Texas was literally
that was
like a
insane.
top 5 team like every single
Mhm.
year.
The year before,
Like
was when Texas beat Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl.
it's
It's
crazy.
They're
crazy.
playing Alabama in the national championship. It was that hurts. That hurts so much.
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
pain.
I remember my dad watching that game with my dad, and at halftime he's like, "Go to bed." And it was like the score was like 35-17 at halftime. He's like, "Go to
I
bed. I don't
remember I
want you
was
to watch the
watching
rest
that
of it."
game and I saw like the play and I was like, "Oh, it's a stinger." Cuz I mean,
Yeah.
I've gotten plenty of stingers. And I'm like, "Oh, it's a stinger. He'll be back." And then he didn't come back. And I was like, "Okay, they're just taking their time with him. He'll probably be back after halftime."
No.
And it's oh my god. Colt
A
McCoy
testament.
himself just hasn't even been the same since then either. Like,
He was no. I mean, his arm strength already wasn't there that much, and then that just kind of ruined it all. But he was it was literally the score was super close. It was literally like the first quarter. Texas was going down on the drive to score, and
they
big
were in
old
the red
Marcel
zone, yeah.
Darius just hits. Yep, offense was humming. They're going to score to take the lead, and then Marcel Darius just hits him. Like it doesn't even look like a bad hit, and his arm just goes numb. And then 3 or 4 picks through like 3 touchdowns. I think they ended up losing by like 14, but there was a point in time where it was like a 3-point game, and it was actually a testament to Garrett Gilbert how bad he was. He ended up. I say he's bad. He's the best quarterback for the Cowboys this year outside of Dak, but he. Uh, the next year he gets benched for David Ash, then he transfers to SMU. That's that's how he was, and the fact that Texas almost beat Bama with
There is
him as a freshman quarterback.
one player
Uh,
I want to touch on. Um,
I
Joe Jr. Um, the Joe Jr.'s favorite player, Wayne Charbet.
uh-huh.
So Wayne Charbet, probably not a lot of people know about him. He was a slot receiver for the Jets. My first ever favorite player. Struggled with concussions his entire career, and I remember my dad handed me a like 4 pages. He printed out his entire retirement speech, and after it, there was just tears on the paper because like, you know, as a little boy, you know, I mean, you just gravitate towards players at that age.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was about Wayne Chebet. I think it was a story. The reason he was on the Jets was because his dad sent his tape, and he was kind of like in that group of slot receivers that started making kind of that position popular. And yeah, that's just a quick one. Chad Pennington too. Just just quick players. Honorable mentions.
Dang, Joe. Dang, all the Jets players, bro. All of them.
Yeah.
But y'all had any other things y'all want to talk about?
Yeah. Um. So we touched on it earlier, but there is a Halo Infinite tech test going on this weekend. And I do want to talk about things I like, things I don't like. Um. Just touch on a few things. I do want to say though that this there is no mystery that the past two Halo games, excluding the Master Chief Collection, have not been. How can I put this? Good. Uh,
No.
from everything from the campaigns to the multiplayer. I mean, Halo 4's multiplayer is just not good. Um, I can't tell you why it's not good because I haven't played it in so long, but it wasn't great. Halo 5, its multiplayer was solid at times, but it just didn't feel like Halo. It was too fast. People moving too quickly. The TTK was too high. It felt more like it really. I hate when people make these comparisons, but it really did kind of feel like COD with a Halo skin over it. Just with a slightly higher TTK time. And playing the Halo Infinite beta, not a beta, it's a tech test. Um, it's really brought back that, like, it's really brought hope into my heart as a diehard Halo fan. That Halo might be all the way back on the multiplayer side. Um, the movement is exactly what you expect from Halo. It's not fast, it's not slow, it's that perfect middle ground. Um, there are, of course, are things that they've taken from the most recent games, like I said, mantling, sprint, slide, but those are all cool things. Sliding and shooting somebody is just fun. Not much to complain about there. The gunplay feels like Halo 3. Like I picked up the battle rifle in Halo Infinite, and the first thing I thought when I shot the gun was like, "Oh my God, that's the Halo 3 battle rifle." It almost sounds like it. The fire rate is exactly what you would expect from the Halo 3 battle rifle. It looks a lot like the battle rifle because in most recent Halos, somehow the battle rifle got more futuristic looking, and the Chris could attest to this. The fire rate was just weird.
It
It
especially
was,
in like 4 and 5, the battle
yeah,
rifle fire rate was almost too fast.
yeah. Like it almost felt like a DMR in a sense. It was shooting so fast, it sometimes felt like it was shooting one bullet.
Yeah.
It was so bizarre. Um, yeah, no, the battle rifle, and then I want to touch on. There's two standouts in the weapon category so far. The first one I want to talk about is the Commando. It's a
That's a beautiful gun.
it's a beautiful gun. So it looks a lot like the DMR, um, but it's automatic. Um, Lower fire rate, 20 round magazine, and it just feels good, man. Like
That's
you
probably the
can
most
shoot it.
satisfying gun to shoot in that game.
Yeah, it just sounds beefy. It sounds like you're shooting a strong big gun. And man, it's a strong gun. Um, you can even fire it like a really quick DMR, and it still just feels solid, like a longer range. You can just kind of just do a lot of follow up shots, and people will die quickly. It's pretty cool. Um, and that, and then another one is the skewer, which, Jared, this weapon, it's quite literally, it's a big ass harpoon gun.
Yo,
Yeah.
yo,
So it
yo.
classifies as a sniper.
When I picked it up, I thought it was a rocket launcher.
Yeah, it
Does it
classifies as
handle
a
like the
sniper.
railgun?
Hmm.
No.
No.
It's pretty funky to shoot because it has travel time. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so you have to lead your shots. But I did see in the teaser trailer that they had at E3, was it? Yeah, that
I
it
don't
can
think you have
also
to lead it
destroy.
that much.
Nah, well, there was one time today where like I shot it and thought I would hit a guy and he just kind of ran right by it.
Huh.
It looks like it can destroy vehicles, but again, we don't know because there are no vehicles, so there's nothing to really test it on. Everything else is kind of what you expect from the guns. Like the AR is what you expect. The pistol, it's good. It's you don't. It's not like the Halo 2 pistol where it feels useless.
Yo, I'm not
It's
gonna
more.
cap. I think the Halo 2 pistol is. I mean, not Halo 2 pistol. I think this pistol in the Halo Infinite is amazing. It
Yeah, it's
like
pretty good.
it's obviously not cracked like the Halo 1 pistol.
No,
Um, it feels
it's probably a good thing.
basically like a viable multiplayer version of the ODST pistol,
Hmm.
and
That's where I was going with it.
I I think it also like. I mean, I actually like this comparison. I think it feels a lot like the pistols in Valorant, and the I wouldn't say tracking, but the target acquisition, I guess you could say, or like just whenever you shoot and it goes on the crosshair, it feels so like perfect with that gun in particular. I mean, because I've shot. I mean, I'm not the best shot, but I've shot some things that I didn't feel were I feel should have hit and they didn't hit. But every time I had the pistol, it was on target every single time, and it was great. I love it.
I do think the bullet gravitation is pretty good on it for sure. There's even this one weird weapon that I don't understand yet, and it's called the Ravager. I Because you can like charge it up, shoot it. It has like this AOE thing on the ground that damages people, but if you just tap it, it has like a burst fire that doesn't really do any damage. And I'm not really sure what the gun's place is yet. It does have a knife at the end, so that's pretty cool.
I'm sure. I'm sure that I'm
Which
sure the Ravager is like a weapon. I mean, a vehicle destroying weapon. That's what I think
it
it's for.
it might be, but it just seems weird that it would be in the game now, seeing as there's no vehicles. Like it
Well,
just
I mean,
feels.
it's new. They want to put it in the game.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's
No,
the only reason
I
why it's
get it.
there.
I just don't understand its place quite yet. I'm sure at some point we'll
They
figure
probably
it
just want
out.
to get data on it too.
Yeah. It definitely feels underpowered though, I think. Like I said, I don't understand it. I don't really know how it works. But I always find myself gravitating towards it because I want to know how it works. um, there's a new Covenant pulse rifle, like
I think
like
that's an
a,
interesting addition.
a pulse rifle.
Yeah, it's an interesting addition.
Yeah, it's basically the Covenant BR. It doesn't. It feels kind of underpowered at the moment, I think. Um, it just doesn't.
I think shields are just too strong right now.
Maybe it could be. Again, it's tough to say.
I think they need to tone down shields a little bit and up like your actual HP.
Hmm. Maybe. Again, it's tough to say. Again, I haven't really used it because I kind of picked it up once, like, this sucks. But probably one of my favorite things in the game so far is the Needler.
Oh, fuck the Needler, bro. I hate the
In it,
Needler. I've always hated the Needler. No matter which game it
I
was, though, regardless of if it was good or not, I've
I
hated the Needler
love
always.
the Needler because for whatever reason, when I think of Halo, the Needler is one of the first weapons I think of because I remember as a kid the first time I saw it, it was just captivating. You, it makes no sense. it's, it's just heat-seeking
Bro, it's a
needles
gun
and
that shoots pink needles. What's there not to like about it?
I mean, your
right.
other favorite gun is the needle rifle.
Yeah, I'm trying to see it.
Your
I haven't
bias
seen
is
that
showing.
yet, and I haven't seen that yet, and I'm starting to think it might not be in the game.
I told you it wasn't going to
Um,
be in the game.
I don't know.
Shut up. I don't.
Everything you're saying is actually making me hopeful for this game. I just hope the
Yeah.
story delivers.
Well, the
Yeah. The
multiplayer is free to
story is.
play, so I mean,
Yeah.
if you want, you can
Mhm.
play the multiplayer at least.
Yeah. The multiplayer is free to
I want
play. That's
story.
huge.
Story needs to deliver.
Yeah,
Story
no,
doesn't deliver.
no. I'm
After
telling
Halo 4
you,
turned me
after all
off
this,
from everything Halo.
if the story is mid, I, Joe, I don't know if I can go back.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. It's tough. It's just been tough being a Halo fan.
Like I'm gonna have to be stuck dead ass playing Reach 1, 2, and 3. Like,
Yeah.
and you can only play these 20-year-old games for so long.
Right. I mean, how many clears do you have of all those games at this point?
Like it's and it sucks because I love Halo so much, man. Halo
Yeah.
was my first video game, bro. Like
Me too.
I fuck, man. I don't want it. I don't want like watching Halo go down the way it's gone down has been very, very similar to how I felt it was when I saw Derrick Rose tear his ACL. It was basically that's the same. That's the equivalent right there.
Yeah.
Like it, fucking heartbreaking, and
But
it damn near makes me depressed.
Yeah, but seeing the direction the multiplayer is going also makes me hopeful
Yes, very much
that
so.
the campaign they also have their shit together on the campaign. But of course, the campaign's a wild card right now.
It will at least
Still,
be fun to play the campaign. At least,
yeah. The grappling hook is a lot of fun.
Is it? Isn't the
dude.
campaign
Jared, I
also just
grappled
like
somebody.
it's not going off of Halo 5 or Halo 4? It's just
It is going off of Halo 5, but we don't really know how yet.
it is.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah, it is
I,
following the story, but from my
I
understanding,
thought they were reimagining it.
to my understanding, I think they're getting rid of Spartan Lock almost completely, which I would say is a positive thing. If they did the
I
whole Halo 5
need
thing
to retcon
better,
5.
what was that?
They need to retcon Halo 4 and Halo 5.
They can't. At
They
this point.
did hire one of the original writers from the original Halo trilogy though to be on this team for the story.
Like I said,
So
seeing what they're doing with the multiplayer is definitely making me hopeful for the campaign. But I do want to touch on a couple things I don't like. One thing I don't like is that grenades have hit markers.
why?
Because first of all, we already know that Halo is already a grenade spam fest sometimes.
No, there's
And
nothing wrong with that.
if someone's gonna get a hit, if someone's gonna hit marker, they're already just gonna be chucking the next grenade, right? It's just I don't like it. Maybe you do. I wouldn't know why.
I mean, I don't dislike it. I just think I'm indifferent about it. I mean, I'm not
I just
too
don't think.
concerned about it.
I just don't think it needs to be there. It just feels kind of off to me. I don't know why grenades would ever have a hit marker. I don't think they have. No, they do in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They do
I
in
mean,
most shooters.
in Call of Duty, it shows you when you stun someone.
It does show you when you stun somebody.
It shows you when you flash
Shows you when
someone.
someone trips your claymore.
But how do you feel? But how do you feel about Call of Duty?
I mean, you already know how I feel about Call of Duty. I don't like Call of Duty.
Exactly. Anyways,
But no. But
that's-
I mean, the thing about it is, but those aren't the things that lead me to not like Call of Duty. How people play Call of Duty is why I don't like Call of Duty. And because that with the combination of being able to die within like 3-4 bullets is why I don't like Call of Duty. Not because of shit like that.
fair. But that's just one thing I don't
How many
personally like.
bullets did they kill you in Valorant?
It takes like 4 shots, but that's completely
Oh, that's
different.
crazy.
No, stop.
We're not
we're not doing
Anyways,
this.
the great hit markers is something I personally don't like. There's definitely a few technical issues. One of them I think was pretty funny is right now you can't change your push to talk binding because it completely crashes the game.
Joe, how many times did you crash today?
Well, so it was like twice off of. It was funny because I crashed. I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I said, let me find out that changing my push to talk binding is crashing my game. Sure enough, I
Hey,
gotta
you
change my
spoke into
push.
existence.
Sure enough, I go to change my push to talk. Keep betting what happens. Game crashes, and then I had like a bunch of other crashes, but then I just reinstalled the game and it was fine. But other than that, I don't like that we're fighting bots at the moment. But again,
Shit.
tech test, it's
I don't
fine.
I don't mind.
Can you be an elite?
No, you
No.
Can you
can't
be
be
an
an elite
elite?
in this game. We are eliminating elite preferred species, which is totally okay.
Oh, so now you're just
I
gonna
I prefer to have the right to choose my
Nope.
man,
representation.
it's
Nope.
2021 now, Joe. You can't say things like that.
Nope. Yes, I can.
You're getting
Everyone knows
canceled,
racism
bro.
in the Halo games is okay.
But
But
I think we're.
I
Oh,
ain't
go
gonna sit
ahead.
here and talk to no split jaws, okay?
I feel you on that.
Yo, yo,
I
can you say that?
I I've thoroughly enjoyed Halo this tech test
Hmm.
beta, whatever you want to call it. I've enjoyed it. Um it definitely does get me hopeful for especially the map design. The map
Yes, the
design
maps are
I've
great.
loved. I've loved the two maps that we've had so far.
Yes, there's another one in the game right now.
They've definitely they definitely have shown that they're competent on the multiplayer side of things.
Yes,
So I wouldn't go so far as to say that the story's gonna be just as good because I mean, look, Halo 5, like that was a competent multiplayer, but
was
the
the Halo
story shit
multiplayer
the
though?
bed. No, it wasn't. But I mean, it shows that they're at least listening to what people have to say, and
Yes,
they're taking into consideration the older people that have played the game and people that they're trying to get into their game.
the game definitely feels like it's made for the Halo fan. Like the people who've been playing the game since 1, 2, 3, not the people who started at 4 or 5. It definitely feels like they are trying to appeal to basically people like me and Chris. And I
Wow.
mean, what's there to say, right? Like it's just exciting as a Halo fan to see this is the point we're at.
It's just
You know?
exciting to see something that's positive because I mean,
Yes, in a very negative scape right
A
now.
lot of negative and
as an old Halo fan, dude, I mean, you sit there and then what happened to your game after Reach? You tried to find solace with the same company in fucking Destiny, and what a mess that was year one. Oh my lord.
we'll save
Uh,
the Destiny talk for another.
No, 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 no,
I
no,
don't
no,
want to
no,
open
no,
up.
no, no,
I
no.
don't want to end up that can of worms.
No, 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 no.
that is a can of worms,
Destiny is definitely a different episode. That's definitely not today.
No, that's
Especially
definitely
'cause I
not
think
today.
we're nearing that 90-minute mark too.
Yeah, we're at an hour and a half.
Yeah.
1 hour 32 minutes. But yeah,
That's
Yeah.
basically all I want to say with that.
it's just been
I mean,
tough. It's been
I
tough.
think that's a good. I think it's a good little stopping point. Unless anyone's got anything else they want to say,
I think
I think-
Chris
I
had
think
I
more
it's
mean,
to
I,
say.
helpful.
I do, but I mean, I think I can also save my
No,
last topic unless you
I
want
think
to
it's
talk
a good.
about it
I think
now.
it's a good topic for this episode, to be honest.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, Jared, I think you could have something to add to this, but it's basically so. How do we all become friends? Playing games, obviously, right? What?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we played Halo, right?
Yeah.
However, we grew closer as friends playing games like Siege and fucking Destiny
We
and
grew
occasionally
closer friends playing
Madden.
shitty games.
No, I mean, here's what I'm saying. Why are shooting games not fun anymore? And I mean, like, not inherently because the mechanics are there for a shooting game to be fun, but it's just like I feel that shooting games have become too much of a cash grab from the developer side of things. I think that it's become too much of a competitive thing from the player side of things and from the community side of things. Well, I guess you would also count that as one of the player things. It's just,
Yeah.
I think metas are tearing apart shooting games.
Yes.
I think
I think
I think
have a couple
metas
things.
have completely shit on what makes a shooting game feel unique, what makes a shooting game like actually want to be like a different game. And so there's a lot of things. I mean, it's just because prime example, you'd have like a lot of games are gravitating towards either the BR section, the tac shooter section, or the arena shooter section, right?
Yeah.
And it was cool before because the BR thing, I know it didn't start with PUBG, but PUBG made it like really poppin', right?
Mainstream, yeah.
And it was cool because it's like, oh, you got people on people trying to get to one left that hasn't been done before in a shooting game. You got the shit, I don't even remember what I was saying. You got the arena ones, which is obviously where Halo shines, and that was the original huge arena shooter, because you can say Quake, you can say things like that, but I mean, I say Halo because that was me. And then you got the tac shooters. You got CS:GO, Valorant, Siege, and like I said, I think the community and metas and just I think that's tearing up shooters being fun. I think that's just completely blowing it out of the way, and it's because I felt it the last time I played Valorant, because I played it and I was having fun, question mark. It was like because we were winning, I was getting kills, but it just was like it felt empty. It just felt like there was no like. It almost felt like there was no reason for me to be playing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Joe, you say your piece,
Uh,
and I'll add mine
I
to
actually
wrap it
have,
all up.
I have three. This might sound like a lot, but I have three things I think are heavily pushing shooters into this meta direction, competitive direction. And the first two are the biggest ones. The rise of esports. None of these things are inherently negative either, because I support both things I'm about to talk about. The rise of esports and streamers and YouTubers. Um, so obviously with the rise of esports, you're gonna have the rise of meta, right? Um, so every game at this point has a meta. I mean, Siege has a meta. Warzone of all things has a meta, right? And esports obviously is going to steer more towards our Sieges, Valorant, CS:GOs. People see how these people play, and everybody, wants to, win, right? Which is fair. And they see how these people play, and they're like, all right, this is the setup we need, right? We need this. Everything else is wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm trying to think of a Siege meta. We're gonna touch on, because this is most close to me. We're gonna touch on our most recent utility meta on defense, where it was just deployable shield, deployable shield, deployable shield. Let's bring Goyo. He has 3 deployable shields. And like this, people aren't enjoying that. That's not an enjoyable experience, because then that forces you to have to play a certain way on attack, which is you're gonna have a Zofia, an Ash. Those are your mainstays, right? And then you're gonna have a hard breacher who's gonna have flashes, because you need a hard breacher, right? And there was no way to really play any other way on that side of the spectrum. And now streamers, YouTubers, again, I support streamers, YouTubers. I love many streamers. I love many YouTubers, and they kind of take over games like Warzone, for example. Of course, they want these high kill games. They want to do this. They want to do that. So they're gonna find immediately what's the best gun, what's the best attachments, right? And then you play a Warzone game, and everyone's using the same exact gun with the same exact attachments, the same exact character skin, because that's what all the streamers are using. And as fun as much potential as there is to have fun in Warzone, it's only so much fun playing against the slide canceling rose skin who's jumping around every corner with a gun with zero recoil, a jacked rate of fire. It's just makes it just not an enjoyable experience, just dying to the same shit. Because there's nobody else is doing anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it's just
it's a pain in the
it just
fucking ass.
becomes monotonous. Like let's just say the DMR meta. Everybody's using a DMR. Nobody's using anything else. You're gonna be dying to the same gun every single time you drop. And it's just like that's just not it again, monotonous and boring. And then the third topic I want to touch on is just toxicity, period.
Yeah.
The shooter market, honestly, there's one game that shines with I say as little toxicity as possible. But and that's Halo. I've had very little toxic experiences in Halo. But I mean the amount of toxic experiences I've had in Siege, I've had in Valorant, I've had in just almost every other shooter, Call of Duty, Warzone. I mean, the amount of times I'll kill somebody in Warzone and I'll be called the F word, the N word, this, that, this. It's just like, dude, shut up. And then in Siege, you do something someone doesn't like, and immediately you're just being berated,
You're
right?
just
And
doing a lot of introspective reflection right now.
well, first,
No, I
no,
mean
I,
it's
And
facts.
no, I know,
Like
I know, I know,
it's
I know. But
facts.
I'm just saying, what percentage of
my
the toxicity is coming from you?
my okay, my toxicity is
At least
not the
10.
same as somebody else's. Like, I'm not sitting here calling somebody the N word over and over and over again, right? Like, at the end of the day, the way I'm toxic is gonna make people laugh. No one's gonna laugh at some dude sitting there just berating people because that's not funny, right? Now,
I,
I
oh, go
do
ahead.
have my moments where I was not the nicest person, and I will admit that. But, a lot of the times that I've been toxic has been because people were toxic to me. And I'm not saying that's the best way to handle things, but I'm not going to let some 14-year-old sit there and scream at me in Siege. Like, come on, shut up. I'm old enough to be your stepdad. Like, leave me alone.
I think a lot of the issues with the shooters not being fun is it's a lot of rinse and repeat,
Hmm.
and it's a genre that's hard to reinvent
Yes.
because
Very hard, yeah.
if you break it down, it's point click gun go blam blam, like
Everything's
that's
been done at this point as well.
and so it's very hard to innovate, and when you do innovate, everyone copies.
Mm.
Everyone copies when you do innovate, and then it saturates that market. I think the other part of it, I know a lot of the stuff, so, not a lot of it, but a decent of the stuff that like Joe you pointed out, a lot of it is like subjective and stuff like the devs can't control. Like
Yeah.
they can try to fix stuff, but at the end of the day, if every streamer figures out this gun has the slightly better fire rate and this and that, then everyone's gonna copy it. There's nothing they can really do. They can try to balance it, but it's gonna take 5 seconds to find the next thing. And so
Exactly.
that part is subjective, and that kind of lays into my next point, where I think shooters aren't fun anymore because we're older and we're chasing that high of we're the generation that grew up where we had peak Modern Warfare 2, we had peak Halo 3, we had peak Battlefield, and we're trying to chase the next game that's going to be that for us, but it's
Hmm.
never going to come. And it's because we're not, like you guys mentioned, we're not really, like, you guys feel like Halo's finally being targeted for you guys. It's because we haven't really been the targeted demo for a while. And so
Yeah.
I think, and it's a lot of the times like when people do try to innovate and it doesn't work, it's just like, well, shit, do we just go back to what we were doing? Like when Halo tried to innovate with Halo 4, Halo 5, and just turned out to be dog shit. And it's just
No.
like, hey, they're like, well, shit, they did what we wanted to do with where we tried to innovate, but it just didn't work out. It's not what they liked. And it's just a lot of rinse, repeat. We're getting older. We're trying to chase that nostalgia feeling of, oh, good game. Like I feel like Valorant is the closest thing to try to innovate, where they made it CS:GO with superpowers. But
If Valorant just feels
once again,
empty.
it kind of gets played out. That's why I didn't enjoy that much because I was like, oh, every round's almost the same thing, and I
Mhm.
just need to get better at this one thing. And it's just rinse and repeat, trying to chase the same thing that we had when we're younger. And then I know main reason why I don't find shooters as fun anymore. It's like the people that I play them the most with don't all like play together because we're all older, we have stuff going on, and just like the core group of people that I know I played with, including you two, just doesn't play as much together, and that was the most fun part of it, was
Yeah.
playing with the people. And that's the biggest thing for me. Like I personally feel burnt out on shooters, and I have a hard time playing shooters just because it's like I've been playing that for almost 20 years, and it's just hard to find the right game to get back into it. And so like I remember when we were playing the Master Chief Collection again with our buddy Michael over the summer, and that's the most fun I had playing a shooter since we all first started playing Siege together, and just
Everything
stuff
comes
like
back to
that.
Halo.
And so yeah, and so like everything comes back to where it's the same point click. They have to find the right balance of innovation to appease the wanting stuff to change, but then also have to play in the nostalgia factor of what works. And it's just no one's found that right thing yet. I'm hopeful. The game that I'm hopeful that can do it is the new Battlefield game.
Yes.
I think everything that I've seen for that seems like it's the right blend of old and new, that it could
Yes.
be decent. But like yeah, it's just hard to that's why like it's just hard to try to get something to work. And then when games find out, oh, this is just a cash cow that we don't have to put as much effort into it anymore. But
2K.
yeah,
I
but
do
it's yeah, it's
think.
just
Sorry.
that's why I don't think shooters are as fun. It's just copy and paste, rinse and repeat. It's the same thing we've been playing for 20-ish years now. And then it's just for me, it's just the people that I'm playing with. We all don't play together as
You
much
know,
anymore.
you
Just
know
and
what the
that's not anybody's fault.
you know what the
It's
other
just
the
what
other
happens.
shit thing about that is? The other shit thing about that is that like how else are you gonna get like what other genre of game gets
Yep.
like
Gets everybody involved.
four, 5+ people together? You know,
I
Yep.
mean, not even
it's
Destiny has four
Yeah, that's what
people.
I'm
like
saying.
it's insane.
That's why it's
It really
but
sucks. But I mean,
It does.
um, because you got to think about it, and I mean, you got games that are definitely unique in their own aspects, like Dark Souls and Bloodborne and all that. But you can only play with what, two other people at a time?
And how
yep.
often are we getting those games?
And I mean, like you know that you want to like play with your friends. You want to play games with your friends. But when it all boils down to it, you really only have I think maybe 3 different genres of games that you can play. You can play a shooting game, you can play a racing game, or you can play a sports sim game.
Yep.
And like I mean, ironically enough, those are the 3 genres that have damn near zero innovation from game to game,
Yep.
and it really sucks because I mean, I mean, I said it for the longest time back in the day, but like when Assassin's Creed was only single player, I was like, bro, imagine if this game had multiplayer and you could just run around and like do shit with like your homies. And then like they made obviously some kind of multiplayer, but I mean we don't need to talk about.
Yeah, that shit was fun. That shit was fun.
I mean I didn't
That shit
find
was a
it enjoying.
blast. That shit
I
was a
didn't find it all
blast.
that enjoying, but Unity came out and that was a unique multiplayer experience and that was like so much
Yes.
fun and like you could get up to like I think like 5 people playing that game at one time. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool. It was different. It was nice. It was good.
Didn't
I,
work, but it was a good time.
I mean, well, I'm sure it works now, but
Uh,
that game when that was back when whenever a game came out, it looked like it needed duct tape and bandages
Yep.
to power on. But
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah. It's
I
just it's
definitely do think that some games need. I This doesn't sound very weird, but I do think some games start looking into uninnovating, like Halo Infinite is, right? Jared touched on it, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, and that's a big point of his I agreed on. was games are innovating almost too much at this point.
Yeah, I
Too
mean,
worried
you
about
gotta
being the
think
next
about it.
big thing rather than just being
Right.
solid.
Just
Yeah.
like Halo, just be Halo. Battlefield, for the love of God,
But that's
just
that's the
be Battlefield.
but this is the part that I touched on too, is that we're living in the nostalgia, and it's tough.
Well, I mean,
But
I think the only reason it's nostalgia is because they fucked it up so much. I think if it wasn't as fucked up as it was, and they didn't change so much stuff, we wouldn't be at this point where it's nostalgia. I think
Yeah.
that, I mean, granted, there is some point where you have to like do some innovation because you don't want your game
Mhm.
being stale. But I mean, the amount of innovation, the amount of changes, the degree of changes, it's just like sometimes you don't have to do all that.
It's
Sometimes
extreme.
simpler is better.
Yes.
Yep.
And there's two games I'm very hopeful for that will maybe, hopefully, kind of get that spark in us again. Halo Infinite. And I really do think 2042 is going in the direction of more Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, where I know I can't speak for you, Chris, but I know for me, Jared, Michael, and Justin.
No, no, no. I'm getting Battlefield. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I'm
I
not saying.
can't not play with my boys. I can't.
Yeah, right. But what I'm saying is I know for us, did I say four people or five?
You said 5.
Okay, us five was a lot. It was a very good time for all of us. Would you agree, Jared?
Yep.
And if Battlefield 2042 can kind of hit that nostalgia button just a little bit. It doesn't have to be
Hit
crazy.
that spot a little bit.
Just you
Yeah,
just give it a
look,
touch,
tease
tickle
it,
and
just
wiggle a
tease it
little
a
bit.
little
You
bit.
know?
Just needs to rub your lip.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
needs
yeah,
to,
yeah, yeah.
she just needs to rub your
Tease it,
nipples a little bit. You know what I'm
hey,
saying?
just
No,
hey,
just a
hey,
tip.
just
Okay.
hey, just a
That's the
little
part
bit.
where
Hey,
nobody listens to on the
Just
podcast.
just
Anywho,
anyways,
but yeah,
anyways, what I'm saying is, if it just hits that button a little bit, I do think that can be a game that we can get back into with the boys because it's going to be crossplay. Good, that's good innovation, right?
Yep.
yes,
Because
That's the
that
best one to
allows,
come
that's
out
the
in the last
best.
yes,
That's the
2
best
years.
innovation.
The
yes,
best thing.
that allows us to play with our homie Justin, who's only on console, despite being able, anyways, um, who's still on console. It allows us to play with him, and
Yep.
you
It's
you
just
kind of see where I'm getting at. That's
it
good
makes
innovation.
it makes it more accessible.
Yeah, and that's
But
gonna, yeah, just makes it,
it's
just
gonna
allows you
just
to play
drive
with your
gaming
friends
forward,
again.
and just
Yeah.
and that's what we need, just being able to play with
Yes.
our friends again.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
at the
think
end of the day, that's what makes shooters so much fun. Is those
Yep.
experiences with your friends. Like I want to use an example. When me and Jared 2v4'd people to a W on Halo Master Chief Collection.
Oh Jesus, yeah, that was miserable.
You
It
know,
was great. It was a
those
miserable experience.
those are the experiences that shooters
Yep.
give. I mean, we could talk about Siege memories all day.
Correct.
Joe,
Everything.
You
Griff
know?
ball, everything.
Joe, when
Yeah.
when when me and you were down like 11-2 in Valorant, came back and won.
Yeah.
Like,
Again, and
Everything
that's a
like that.
game me and
or
Chris
or
don't
when
even
we
love like that.
or when we
Yep.
dropped or when we bet $50 on a fucking 3v3 siege game.
Yep. I think these are all. I think these
Yeah.
we need to have a separate thing where we delve into a lot of
No,
our
we're definitely
Yeah.
favorite
going
gaming
to.
stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we're nearing this 2 hour mark. I'm
I
fading a little bit.
I
I'm
definitely
about
do think this is the stopping point.
yes.
No, this is
Yes.
definitely where
That's all, I'm gonna wrap it up a little bit.
we're approaching
I'm
the red light for sure.
I'll wrap this up a little bit. Appreciate everyone if anyone is listening. No idea what outlets these are gonna go on. No idea what social media platforms we're gonna put this on. So just gonna cover all the bases. Like, follow, subscribe, download, share, retweet, quote tweet, add to your story, word of mouth. The no shot podcast. Appreciate if you've made it this far. Appreciate you. We're gonna try to do this like once a week if we can. Obviously, there's stuff we can do better. We're gonna clean it up. Try to just keep going. Just three friends like talking about stuff.
Three
But yeah,
homies.
appreciate you. Just appreciate you listening. Three homies, one mic.
You did not.
Just
No
boys,
shot. You
boys
said
just-
that just now.
And with that, we'll see ya. Appreciate you guys. Anything y'all want to say, fellas?
Man.
Again, if anybody is listening, I want to thank you. This is something we've been wanting to do for a long time. So again, just if anyone's listening, we appreciate it.
This is definitely a passion project. Definitely something that
It'll get better, maybe.
no, it's going to get better. I know Jared's been talking about this for a while. This is something that I think would actually benefit all three of us to some extent. I think that it's going to be something that if we put our foot down and you guys put in your headphones, you just tune in, I think you guys are going to really enjoy it.
Yep. I
All right.
I did.
I did.